أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا برحمتك واحشرنا مع الذين أنعمت عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, today is day 26, and not by our might, but by the mercy of Allah, He has kept us alive, and He placed Ramadan in front of us so that we can look in front of us and count the days, and also place the poster card for us to read. Have you attained piety, or have you been climbing up the ladder? Pray that Allah make us the one that will be able to answer these questions, factually, and also be convinced within our own self that we have tried, and we are only hopeful for the mercy of Allah. Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Pray that Allah pardon our mistakes, erase our imperfections, and make us better servants of Him, and make us among those who enjoy all the benefit of Laylatul Qadr. Inshallah, I am convinced that we will be able to complete this chapter before Thursday, biiznillah. And we pray that Allah accept it from us, and let us enjoy, benefit from the reward of reciting the word of Allah, and give us more understanding of it. Let it speak for us and not against us. Yesterday we left off at when Allah was telling Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, verse 76, that don't be worried or don't be despaired by the words of disbelievers. And we connected that to our own the world around us today. If you are in a circle of giving dawah, or we're telling friends, families about Islam, and they're saying otherwise to us, we were encouraged not to be bothered about whatever they say to us. And before we proceed, I was thinking of the verse that we spoke about yesterday about the camels and the cattle, and I was pondering upon it. Then I picked some other insight from it, that human being, we are so we can never have any what's it called, statement of innocence in the sight of Allah, because everything is clear enough. I was thinking about the cattle so much so that we think we have money, but we can go and buy to eat them. But Allah made it easy so much so that we are in charge of these livestock. We can tell that, okay, for example, today, if I want to eat beef, I can say, okay, I take money, I will go to the to what they call, to the abattoir, for example. Hey, I want to slaughter this ram. This size, this color, this is my choice of it. And they're gonna take the life of that livestock on spot, just for me. So I was wondering if Allah make us in charge of taking the lives of the creations, and we don't decide to take our own life. He put us in charge, and He doesn't charge us for it. Allah said in the Quran, whoever kill a human being is like you kill the whole nation, right? Now Allah said, I made you easy. Allah gave life to these people, right? Allah gave life to the cow, to the camel, to donkeys. Allah gave life to them, right? Then Allah even say, you human creation, enjoy, take their life once you are in need of them. Allahu Akbar. And we just enjoy, and this creations submit themselves to us, that we just take them for granted. And a clear example that also crossed my thoughts yesterday was when Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was tested, with his son. He was, he doesn't have a son, he was a blind, and he said, Allah, Rabbi la tazarni fardan wa anta khairul warisin. Don't leave me as a barren, ya Allah. You are the one who is who is the one who takes charge of things afterward. You are the one that owns everything after. Then Allah said, we're gonna give you a son. Allahu Akbar. Then Allah gave him a son. Then he said, this son of yours, go and sacrifice it for me. Then Allah even said in the Quran that this test is a big test. Allah said it affirmly. He said this test for Ibrahim was a big test. How would someone tell me today, go and kill your son for a reason? We cannot do that. Then Allah said, do that now once he has gone to do the test and the son himself actually submits that, if Alma to Umar, he told his father that do what Allah, if Allah has inspired you of this dream, then do so, then you would find me as the one who is patient. A young boy was saying that. Now Allah said when he was about to do that, what did Allah give him in return? Allah gave him, a cow a ram in return of that. That's why today none of us, if well, maybe if they have been killing sons for Salah or for festival, maybe we will not even be alive today. But Allah said Allah gave him an animal in replace of that, just to tell the value of human life. Then also Allah is giving us an example there that in replacement of taking the life of your own selves, take this life, take these animals in replacement of that. So that's just something I decided to bring on board today, just for us to think about. So today also we're going to talk about this verse, and this verse is very deep. We might even take time to complete it just today. Verse 37. بعد أعوذ بالله. Allah said, أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة min nutfatin. Allah said that human being not sin. And I like the way Surah to Yasin, mashallah, is giving us this explicitness of all of this poignant topic, in fact, in our lives. Sometimes when we do tafsir of previous verses, we just mention these words. The word themselves is like a book. When the nutfa, for example, the sperm, the origination of it, how Allah used it to bring this and bring that, what becomes of it, what is the end, how would he even revive back, what is the process, all of those in the male and the female, how does it connect to the milk, all of those is like a book on its own. And I like the way Allah is being explicit in this chapter of Surah Yasin, alhamdulillah. Then Allah said, have human being as a man, have you not seen how, or like who min nutfa, how we created him from a sperm, just a gushing sperm is like a waste product. No one needed, no one even know that you came out. You were chosen from a group of choices. Then Allah said, have human being not even take time to think how we created them from nutfa? And so much so that people today are so pompous and arrogant and walking on the surface of the earth as if they're going to make a hole. In Allah la yuhibbul mukhtaran fakhur. Allah said in the Quran that Allah doesn't love the one who walk arrogantly on the surface of. Do you have any plot of land in this world? Some of these brothers just make me smile sometimes. He said, do you have any creation? Do you own anything in this world that you're walking as if you're going to you're going to dip a hole? And I said, human being just needs some time to think and see where am I coming from? I am just a waste product. Allah just choose. I am a miracle of Allah. Every one of us is a miracle of Allah, from nothing to something. Then if you go to, before I go to this explanation of the tafsir, and I'm just going to focus on tafsir in Kasir today. I like the way, it was explicit and various examples of, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I even have, I read about, a story when one of these companions, one of the evildoers who is like an enemy of Islam, how he was in contact with sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what transpired, inshallah. But before we move to that, we go to Surah Al-Insan. And remember, I said we might just focus on this verse today because it's deep in itself. I just want us to pick the context of it. When you go to Surah Al-Insan, it explains everything about us, brothers and sisters. Wallahi al-azim. If you can only hold on to this chapter, Surah Al-Insan, we will know where we are coming from and what is expected of us. Allah described everything. Then Allah said, Al-Ata al-Insan. Let me put it up briefly so I don't read off it. Muluk. Insan. And I said, Allah ta'ala al-insan hinu min ad-dari lam yakun shay'an mazkura. Human being not seeing how we created them from nothing. Lam yakun shay'an mazkura. It was nothing, you know. We don't even know there is something called a world. Wajanahu sami'an basira. Then Allah said, we give you here, we give you eyes to see our signs. And we only expected two things. Imma shakiran wa imma kafura. If you're going to be thankful or you're going to be the one who is disobedient. Allahu Akbar. Allah said, if you think that everything you have, you've seen your own self. Allah nafsin basidra. You look into the mirror, you look at everything around you, the leaves, the birds, and you think of even holding the knowledge of something explained, which is the religion of Islam, explain to you what is your creation and what is expected of you. And if we see all of those, Allah said, I only expect imma shakira wa imma kafura. Allah gave us the choice. I only want you, if you're going to be thankful, or you're going to be a disbeliever, you're going to be kuffar, or you're going to be the one who is ungrateful. And that is the opposite of it. The one who is grateful, you know, the believers know that he doesn't create himself, then he will be grateful. Then the other one, the disbeliever, would think, you know, I deserve to be here. Allahu Akbar. I deserve to be here. My forefather is, the mayor of so land, or, the governor of so city. We have this, we have that. Allah said, "Imma shakira wa imma kafura." Then if you go down the line in that chapter itself, Allah tells you how we created it from branches, from sperm to flesh, covered up with bones, and how the process evolved. Then Allah now describe what is going to become of these people who we talk about to be the shakir. And we pray that Allah make you and I the ones who take time to really think. They call it in fact, you're just trying to be alone, and you just, I just want to think about Allah. Where am I coming from? What is becoming of me? Allah, is explaining when these people, when they have all these thoughts, we say, a Muslim, our sense of thinking should be different from the one who doesn't believe, because we know we are not going to live here forever. We know we are going somewhere. There is an eventuality for us. That should be at the apex of our thought. Then the ones who have this mindset, this is how they think. Allah said, inna nahafu yawman, we are fearful of a day that Allah has promised us. We do not know what is going to become of us on that day. Then Allah said, Yufuna bin nasri wa hakuna yawman. They are fearful of one day, and they continue to do goodness. And then Allah described these people, they feed the people. This is even, Allah is telling us, it's like a code that Allah is giving us in that verse. Allah said, Yut'imuna ta'ama ala miskina, they feed the poor, the people who don't have something to eat, with what they love to eat themselves. So if we want to give people something to eat or help people, for example, it should be something that if someone give it to me, I would thank them. Then Allah said, this is what they give, and they give to them. They said, we are fearful of a day. That is why we give you this food. We do not expect of you thankful. Jazahan wala shukura. We do not expect you to thank us or be appreciative. We should even thank you instead of that. So this is the mindset Allah is telling us. We want to be the one who is thankful. So we will not be the one who is ungrateful, because Allah is referring back to Surah Yasin. I said, if we think of where we are coming from a gushing sperm, and this sperm is what we're going to do the tafsir today, bismillah. If you go to the Ibn Kathir, there is this story of two companions that was brought, who they were enemy of Islam. One of them is Ubay bin Kalab. There is another Ubay. This is the different one. The other one was a good companion. This one was the enemy of Islam. So he brought like a dry bone to Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We said how tormenting the period was for Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam before Allah is revealing this verse to him. People were saying, what do you think? Do you think we're going to, raise us? We're going to, as much as we have, we're going to turn to a bone. And you think you are telling us that your Lord will bring us back alive? I remember we said, this is the question that they keep asking, that Allah is revealing all of these verses, that we're going to take your life and we're going to bring you back on the day of judgment. That is, this is what has been happening in previous verses. Now, this is what he has. Then Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam responded. He said, Naam, yumituka Allahu Ta'ala, summa yab'asuka, summa yashuruka ila nar. Allahu Akbar. He said, Allah who has created you is going to cause you to die, then he's going to bring you back to life. He's going to resurrect you and he's going to put you in hellfire. Because why you have this belief, you not believe that Allah will revive the bone. And that is why I said this question that they asked, that when they asked of the time, remember the other day I referred us back to Surah Al-Mulk. Today we're going to do the same. When you go to Surah Al-Mulk, Allah, when they ask the question, Allah is telling them that tell them that the one who has created a bone from nothing at first, he will bring it, he has the strength to bring it to life, then he will bring it back to life, in fact. And even another book of Tafasir, they told us that every single human being, once we are buried and we died, right, and we are in the grave, there is our backbone, a portion of it. If everything get decayed, it will never get decayed, because that is when Allah called us the Kumu. That is when we start our body will start becoming to revive, and it will be coming back together, and we will be raised again. Allahu Akbar. So they even give the example in other animal creations. I don't want to go there. That every one of us will be raised from that backbone, the portion of it. That is where we're going to be, raised back up. Now, one of the Sahaba that we are telling that asked this question that provoked this revelation of the verse, in fact, one of them is Ubay ibn Khalaf, then the other one is Al-Hasbun Wali. Then the first one, Ubay ibn Ka'b, was known to be an enemy of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So much so there was a story that when Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam one time was climbing through like an hilltop. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was known to be the one who loved the cave and going to the mountains. And he was climbing up one day, and this Ubay, was still getting him, and he was yelling out, "Where is Muhammad?" They don't have respect. Arab, they barely have it. They don't, if you tell them you are an angel, they tell you are Bashan. You are just human being like us, man. They don't think you are special. He said, "Where is Muhammad?" Is either I kill him today or he kill me. Allahu Akbar. People are just so devil-hearted that they work like the Shaitan's vice president. And he said, where is Muhammad? Is either I kill him today or he kill me. Then Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was known to be the one who is calm but courageous. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He backed him, but once you get closer to him, he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam just yell out like an annoyance voice. So much so everyone is scared. They had to back up. And Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam took like a sword. He was trying to scare him off with a sword, not just to take his life. Then he just yelled so much so that the sword gave him a small mark with the shield that he has on. It didn't cut him though. And he fell, he rolled down the hilltop, and they had to rush him back home. They just like they take him out with medic. And he got back home, and once he brought back to life, this is the statement that he uttered. He said, people tell him that, hey, you are still alive. You are not dead yet, you are still alive. He said, he looked at the mark on his face. He said, "Oh, when the blood, what's it called? The story brought to us that there was blood gushing out, and that doesn't cause him to die though. But he said, "Oh, this Muhammad has killed me. He has made me cause it." Then they told him that you are not dead yet, man. You are still alive. What if he strike you? Then you might have been dead. Now that is Ubay ibn Ka'b. He was the one that asked the first question that if Allah would be able to, revive the bone. He brought the bone, the dry bone to Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was wrinkling it, and was telling Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that, are you telling us that your Lord will bring it to life? Then that was the response of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that Allah will cause you to die, will bring you back, will resurrect you, and because of your disbelief, you would be, put to hellfire. And that is just the one side of the judgment. The other people who have done good, once they are resurrected, they go to paradise, bismillah. Then the second one, and it was recorded by Ibn Abi Hasim that Ibn Abbas narrated that Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he took a bone. He took a bone from so this companion that we're talking about, Hasim bin Wali, he took a bone and then he said to Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, asking the same question that Ubay asked, that are you telling us that Allah will bring this back to life? Then Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because of his firm conviction and what he has as a fact, he told him the same thing, that Allah, now you meet with Allah summa yuhyika, summa yudkhiluka jahannam. Allah will cause you back to life, and Allah will cause you to die. He will bring you back to life, and he will cause you to go to hellfire, bismillah. And that was the source revelation of the verse itself, that inna halaknahum min nutfatin فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. Then human being is now telling us that they are in opposition with what they have seen. They are in clear opposition. And this is the last mubin bi-iznillah. And let us even see where Allah end, the last mubin, see where it ends. The same question that begs that, will there be revival? Will there be a day of judgment? Allah is saying, Hasimun mubin. You guys are in, you chose to be in a clear opposition. And there's another narration that Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, one day was with a companion, then he spit out with his sperm, and he was explaining to the companion that, would human being not just think how they see this is their origination. In fact, we are nothing. If someone dust it up, they wouldn't know that something even fell on the palm. It's just like the same reference that we are from the sperm, that even if when couples do what they do and they just flush everything out, no one would know that you come from, or you are in existence, or you that is your source, or you are even useful. But Allah said, look at how we created you from, you are from nothing, which is like a waste product. It's not even clean. But Allah took his time to make you and I, surgery after surgery, created us, make us return into flesh, covered us with blood, and all of those. Only Allah could do that. That's why Allah said in Surah I think the end of this verse itself, in fact, that is there anyone who can create the heavens and the earth as much as I have created? Who then could bring such of this my creation? And even in Surah Al-Mu'minun, when Allah was explaining the Mu'minun, and also explaining that I created you min nutfatin amshajin nabtali fajannahu samihan basira imma shakiran wa imma kafura. Allah is explaining that we created a human being. We created them from nothing. We fashioned them. Then when we give them life again to revive them, we're going to cause them to die. Summa yuhyikum summa ilayna turja'un. Allah said, we're going to bring you back to life, and from us is where you're going to stand for accountability. So in summary, to sum this up, to give you another sense of comprehension, Allah is disclosing to us that if we have for a second, we have an iota of doubt that is going to revive us back to life. Number one, he told us to look at the things around us. He told us to look at the day and the night. He told us to look at the things that we enjoy in our primary and secondary discourses, within our home sustenance, and even the things around us. And also Allah said, look at the things that you are in control of. They are also my creation, but I made them submit to you. Then the third one, Allah said, look at where you yourself come from. Look at your origination. You came from nothing. You came from just a gushing sperm that I turned you to be a human like. And you can even produce a human like you by my permission. Allahu Akbar. So Allah is now saying that with all of this it's been made clear. Do you think with the power that I have to make this, then I cannot bring you back to life? And that is the first question that answered it. That is the first answer to the question that they asked, if Allah has his strength to revive. Then the second phrase of that, Allah said, I will not just bring you back to life. You're going to be accountable for everything you have done while you are in this world, bi-iznillah. And Allah said the disbelievers were in a clear opposition to all of this that we have made clear. Inshallah, we're going to stop in this verse today. Inshallah, we're going to pick off to the next verse and try to finish up by Wednesday. Bismillah. If there's any commentary, inshallah, I think I have it. Welcome, sir.
This word khasimu, what does that mean?
Like an opposition, like an opposition itself, basically. Like you are debating something, adversary, something like that. Like you see, for example, if you see sunlight on me now, and you're telling me that there's nothing like that. So that's like, or seeing you saw something of clarity, but you chose to call it. You saw a white, for example, and you said no, it's black. Yes. So seeing just like you are opposing something which is a fact. Inshallah. If there's any other questions, inshallah. فإذا هو خصيم مبين.
It's clear.
Are you asking for
Inshallah.
Kasimu? Were you asking about
Yeah,
Kasimu?
Hasim. Yeah, Hasim. Yeah.
Okay. And then the word that follows is Mubin.
Yeah, Mubin. That's the last Mubin.
Mubin that you was telling.
That's the last Mubin in the surah right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Inshallah, maybe. Now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe after we finish, inshallah, can explain some of the du'as, that we can make with the surah to Yasin itself, and how it's recommended to use the Mubin, inshallah. You are going to comment something before, sir? If I didn't miss that.
David?
Oh, I thought you were going to make a comment before.
No, just to acknowledge that was the last, that was a Mubin that followed the word.
That was the last Mubin. And if you see that everything that Allah was pointing the Mubin to is the things that not just we're going to see them clear on the day of judgment. They are the things that we see around us here, but Allah will refer back to them on the day of judgment. That you've seen all of this to be clear. That's why Allah they call it tawqid in Arabic, something that is affirmed to reestablish something. That Allah said everything was made clear. But because you see what is clear and you deny it, that's when we're going to punish you more. And if you see everywhere that Allah used Mubin there, it's something that we see. For example, when it says the Quran in Mubin, we see the Quran, we read it every day. So most of this is Mubin. And even Abib al-Najjar said, if I oppose what I've seen to be clarity, then I'm also in a clear loss. Stuff like that. Bismillah. Yeah, that's about it. Inshallah, we pick it from here tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.